Interlocking is an arrangement of various functions like signals, points, sidings, slots, level crossing gates operated from a panel or a lever frame, so interconnected by mechanical locking or electrical locking or both that their operation must take place in a proper predetermined sequence to ensure safety. Interlocking systems ensure that signal for any movement is cleared only when a route including overlap is properly set and locked and is free from all conflicting movements. Also, once the train has passed the signal, it should not be possible to alter the route till the journey over the route is completed or certain procedures are adopted, in other cases known as emergency cancellation. In relay interlocking RI systems, relays are employed to achieve the above functions. In such systems, the layout of the yard is depicted geographically on a panel called the control panel or operating panel. The control panel is illuminated, indicating the position of points, aspects of the signals, condition of the track circuit, occupied or clear, and position of the running train when a move is initiated. In some very big yards, the illuminated yard diagram, popularly known as the indication panel, is separate from the control panel for better clarity. As mentioned previously, an interlocking is an arrangement of various functions which are operated from a panel or lever frame and interconnected by mechanical locking or electrical locking or both. Its operation must take place in a proper sequence, and the interlocking is proved in at least 2 stages to ensure safety. There are various types of interlocking, where interlocking is at least proved in 2 stages. Mechanical interlocking. First stage, locking tray of the lever frame. Second stage, near functions with mechanical detectors, etc. Electromechanical interlocking. First stage, locking tray of the lever frame. Second stage, by means of electrical locks on signal lever or point lever and electrical detector to detect point position, etc. Relay interlocking. First stage, at route checking stage, that is UCR. Second stage, at signal clearance stage, that is HR. Electronic interlocking. First method, single software and duplicate hardware. Second method, duplicate software and single hardware. When the interlocking between various functions is achieved by means of relays, it is termed as relay interlocking. RI. RI is classified into 2 types: non-route setting type or panel interlocking, route setting type or route relay interlocking, or entry-exit type. Non-route setting type. In this system, to take off a signal for a particular line, all points in the route overlap and isolation are set by individual operation of point knob or switch to the required position one after the other. The signal knob is then reversed. On reversing the signal knob, after checking the route checking relay UCR picks up, which drops the approach stick relay ASR, which in turn locks the route including overlap through dropping of OVSR. Finally, signal control relay HR picks up and the signal is taken off at sight. Route setting type with knobs for signals, points and buttons for routes. In this system, to take off a signal for a particular line, signal knob is reversed and the route button concerned is pressed and released. Signal route selection relay LR is energized which operates all the points in route, overlap, isolation to the required position. After checking the route, UCR picks up, which drops ASR, thereby locking the route. Finally, Signal Control Relay HR picks up and signal is taken off at site. Route setting type with buttons for signals, points and routes. In this system, to take off a signal for a particular line, signal button and route button concerned are pressed and released simultaneously. Route Reverse Relay NRR picks up, which operates all the points in the route, overlap and isolation to the required position. After checking the route, UCR picks up, which drops ASR, thereby locking the route. Finally, Signal Control Relay HR picks up and signal is taken off at site. Introduction to panels. In relay interlocking, a control-cum-indication panel with switches or buttons along with indications are provided for operation of various functions. These functions, that is signals, points, track circuits, are represented geographically on the panel. There are two types of panels, which are conventional or single plate non-domino type panel, domino type panel. Let us now learn about these types of panels. In conventional type panel, only a single large plate of required size is taken and holes or slots are cut to provide switches, buttons, indications, counters, keys, etc. But there are certain disadvantages in this type. Disadvantages of conventional type panel are addition or deletion of the lines over the panel leads to disconnection of all the connections in the panel. The indication units inside the panel are made up of bakelite, which are big in size. So at points and crossovers or at any other place where indications are nearby, fixing of the indication units at the backside is very difficult for wiring and soldering due to congestion. Now let us learn about the domino type panel. In a domino type panel, the entire panel is made up of assembling together small rectangular plates or boxes of sizes 63 mm into 38 mm and 54 mm into 34 mm on a frame. The buttons, switches and indications etc. are fitted to the dominoes and its bases. Wiring is also terminated into male or female multiple sockets for easy removal or assembly. If required, depending upon the size of the installation, the control panel can be separated. A separate indication panel at a suitable place and an operating panel with station master's key, button and switches can be provided at a suitable place. Domino type panel fitted with push buttons has the following advantages. Miniature and self-restoring type of buttons. Replacement is easy and quicker. Route gets released as the train clears the route and no extra operation is required. Operating panel becomes compact and neat even though yard is very big. Easy to make deletion and addition on the operating panel during yard modification. The buttons of operation for a signal are as follows. The main signal button is red in color. The calling on signal button is red in color. The shunt signal button is yellow in color. The calling on cancellation button is gray in color. The calling on initiation button COGGN is red in color. The emergency signal cancellation button EGGN is red in color. The buttons of operation for a point are as follows. The point button is blue in color. The common point operation button normal NWWN is blue in color. The common point operation button reverse RWWN is blue in color. The emergency point operation button EWWN is blue in color. It is provided with a ceiling arrangement. The buttons of operation for a route are as follows. The route overlap set to mainline button is gray in color. And the route overlap set to sand hump button is gray in color. The sub-route cancellation EUYN button is gray in color. It is provided with a ceiling arrangement. The down route cancellation button EUUYN is gray in color. Up route cancellation button or gate cancel EUUYN is gray in. The buttons of operation for crank handle is as follows. The crank handle control CH button is blue in color. The buttons of operation for LC gate is as follows. The LC gate control button LXN is green in color. The buttons of operation for miscellaneous functions are as follows. The button stuck up acknowledgement button is blue in color. The crank handle level crossing siding control releasing button GSBN transmitting is gray in color. The crank handle level crossing siding control locking button GSRBN receiving is gray in color. The panel indications for a signal are as follows. For permissive distance signal 1 or inner distance signal, the on aspect is yellow and the off aspect is double yellow or green. For permissive distance signal 2 or distance signal, the on aspect is double yellow and the off aspect is green. For main or running signal, the on aspect is red and the off aspect is yellow or green. For calling on signal, the on aspect does not have any indication and the off aspect is miniature yellow. For independent shunt signal, the on aspect is two miniature white lights in horizontal and the off aspect is two miniature white lights in diagonal. For dependent shunt signal, the on aspect does not have any indication and the off aspect is two miniature white lights in diagonal. Note, in this yard, no dependent shunt signal is used. For route indicator, the on aspect does not have any indication and the off aspect is white stripe light. The panel indications for a point are as follows. Type point. Normal white stripe light near each individual point button. Reverse white stripe lights on the leg of the point button. Free white circular light near each individual point switch appears. Remarks. Free indication will extinguish when point is locked in a route or point zone track failed. Type point operation. Normal, no light during reverse operation. Normal white stripe light flashing during normal operations. Reverse, no light during normal operation. White reverse stripe light flashing during reverse operation. Free available. Remarks, indication becomes steady when point is set and locked. Type, emergency point operation. Normal. Let us think that 11 at track circuit has failed. Now we operate point number 11 by emergency point operation to normal. Then the normal white stripe or the red stripe light flashes during point operation. Reverse. Let us operate point number 11 by emergency point operations to reverse. Then the reverse white stripe or red stripe light flashes during point operation. Free. White circular light near each individual point switch extinguishes. Remarks. Indication becomes steady when point is set and locked. Panel indications for a route are as follows. Route. When route is not set. Indication on the panel. Route indication lamps shall be extinguished. Route. When route is set and locked. Indication on the panel. The complete route including the overlap shall be lit with a row of white lights. Route. When train moves over the route. Indication on the panel. The portion of the route occupied by the train changes to red stripe lights, that is, white lights are switched off and red lights are switched on. Route. When the train clears the route. Indication on the panel. After the train has cleared, the particular track should change back to white lights until the sectional route or the entire route is released, and then all the white lights are extinguished. Panel indication for a crank handle is as follows. When the crank handle is in, the panel indication is green. When the crank handle is free, the panel indication is white. When the crank handle is out, the panel indication is red. When no signal route is set through the points pertaining to crank handle group, then crank handle free indication white is lit through the front contact of crank handle free relay CH1 FR. When the crank handle is inserted in the EKT and acknowledged by the station master, then crank handle in indication CH1KG is lit through front contact of CH1LR. Whenever the slot is transmitted by the station master for extraction of crank handle out indication CH1KR is lit through the back contact of CH1LR. Panel indication for an LC gate is as follows. Free, yellow. When the LC gate is in the open or closed condition and no signal is taken off, then LC gate free indication is lit on the panel. LC gate free indication LXFK is lit through the front contact of 22LXFR or 22LXYR. When the LC gate is closed physically, a key is extracted from boom lock and is inserted in EKT. After the station master receives the LC gate control, then the indication on the panel turns to green. LC gate closed indication LXKG is lit through the front contact of 22LXPR. Let us now take off signal number 30. Then the LC gate free indication is extinguished. The station master transmits the LC gate control to the gate latch. Then the gateman extracts the key from EKT for opening the LC gate. Thereby the LC gate open red indication and LXFK white appears on the panel. LC gate open indication LXKR is lit through the back contact of 22LXPR and 22LXCR. Panel indication for track circuit is as follows. When a track is clear, there is no indication on the panel. When a signal is taken off, the route is set and locked and is indicated by white stripe lights. When a track is occupied by the train, or if a track circuit has failed, then a red indication appears on that particular track on the panel. Panel indication for a siding is as follows. When the siding point is not involved in the signal route set, then the siding is free to operate, which is indicated by siding free white indication appears on the panel. Siding free indication KLFK is lit through the front contacts of ASRs. As long as siding control is not transmitted by station master to site, siding normal yellow indication appears on the panel. Siding K normal indication 15KL NWK is lit through the front contacts of siding point normal indication relay 15NWKR. Whenever the siding control is transmitted by the station master to site, siding normal yellow indication disappears and out red indication appears on the panel. Siding key out indication KLKR is lit through the back contact of siding key locked proving relay 15KLPR. When the siding key is in and acknowledged by station master, then siding key in indication is lit through the front contact of siding locked proving relay 15KLPR. Panel indication for an axle counter is as follows. When no train is in block section, axle counter clear green indication appears on the panel. Whenever a train enters the block section, the axle counter occupied red indication appears on the panel. Panel indication for miscellaneous functions are as follows. When the station master's key is inserted in the panel and turned to normal, then SMR relay is energized and the station master's key in yellow indication appears on the panel through front contact of SMPR. Whenever the panel is locked and the station master's key is extracted, then the out red indication appears on the panel. As long as flasher is in working condition, flashing white indication appears on the panel. Locking plan. Let us now learn about the operations of a signal. Signal is of the following types: running or main signal, calling on signal, shunt signal. Running or main signal. Whenever a reception or a departure movement in the yard is to be done, the signal button concerned and route button concerned shall be pressed and released simultaneously. By pressing the signal and route buttons simultaneously, all the points in the route, overlap and isolation shall be set and locked in desired position automatically, and the signals shall be taken off. Calling on signal. Calling on signals are provided below the up and down home signals. Whenever it is necessary to receive a train on occupied or obstructed line, or in the event of failure of the home signal or one of the controlling track circuits have failed, calling on signal may be taken off for reception of up and down trains. Let us think that DMT has occupied. Calling on signal shall not be taken off unless the train has come to a stop at the home signal on the approach track circuits. For this purpose, on occupation of the calling on tracks 1AT and 30AT by the trains, a red indication at 1AT and 30AT are provided on the panel. Let us think that the train has approached and stopped on 1AT. When the approaching train has come and occupied the concerned track 1AT, a bell rings continuously in addition to the track indicator showing track occupied indication. The station master on duty will set the requisite route by pressing the relevant main signal button and the COGGN button, and releases COGGN button and presses the route button and releases both buttons. Then points will be automatically operated and route will be set and locked. The calling on initiation indication white appears on the panel. After a lapse of 120 seconds, the clearance indication white disappears and simultaneously the calling on signal displays off aspect. The calling on signal aspect will extinguish automatically when the calling on track is cleared by the train. Every time the calling on signal is operated, it will be recorded on the counter. Shunt signal. Whenever a shunt movement is to be performed in the yard, the shunt signal button concerned and the route button concerned shall be pressed and released simultaneously. By pressing shunt signal and route buttons simultaneously, all the points in the route shall be set and locked to the desired position, then shunt signal is taken off. Let us now learn about the operations of a point. Point operations are of the following types: individual point operation, automatic point operation. Individual point operation. The points will remain in the last operated position. In order to set the points either from normal to reverse or from reverse to normal, individual point button and the point group button NWWN or RWWN shall be simultaneously pressed and released. This will cause the points to change position from normal to reverse or vice versa, provided the point is not engaged by any route and also the track circuits or circuits controlling the points are unoccupied. Now let us see the operation of point number 18 from reverse to normal, then from normal to reverse. Normal operation. Reverse operation. Automatic point operation. By pressing the signal and route buttons simultaneously, all points in the route, overlap and isolation are set and locked to the desired position automatically. Then after checking the interlocking, the signal is taken off. Let us now learn about the operations of an LC gate. LC gate operations are of the following types: closing of LC gate, opening of LC gate. Closing of LC gate. The station master communicates to the gateman on phone to close the gate. Then the gateman shall ensure that the portion between the two barriers is cleared of any road vehicle and rotate the winch fully to close the barriers and extract the key from the winch. He shall then insert the same key in the lock provided in the ground lever frame and turn and operate the lever to lock the booms of the LC gate. He shall then extract the other key from it and insert in the EKT provided in the gate latch and turn it clockwise. Then LC closing indication LXKG flashes on the panel. Thereby the station master comes to know that the LC gate was closed by the gateman. The station master then acknowledges by pressing LXN and GSRBN buttons. Then the LC closing indication LXKG becomes steady. Thereby, the station master understands that the gate is closed and the signal concerned can be taken off. Opening of LC gate. Let us take off home signal S30 to up main line after closing the LC gate. The train passed signal, travelled over the set route and occupied the berthing line. Then station master presses and releases the LXN and GSBN buttons simultaneously to transmit slot to gate lodge for opening the gate. Then LC gate free indication is lit and an audible buzzer is activated at the gate lodge to alert the gateman. Then gateman presses the economizer push button, silences the buzzer and extracts LC gate key. Then gateman opens the gate. Let us now learn about the operations of crank handle, which are insertion of crank handle, extraction of crank handle, insertion of crank handle. The crank handle and the keys for point machine should be chained and welded to the EKT key. When the key is inserted in the EKT and turned to clockwise, and station master receives control by pressing and releasing CHN and GSRBN buttons simultaneously, the crank handle in green indication lights up. The crank handle and EKT will be kept locked in a glass fronted box provided with a padlock and a seal. These boxes are kept in the station master's panel room or in location boxes specially provided for this purpose. These location boxes will be locked and the key shall be kept in the personal custody of the station master on duty. Extraction of crank handle. Before releasing the control of the crank handle, the station master will ensure that the group of points are not engaged in any route by observing CH free indication on the panel. For releasing the control of crank handle key of the point, the station master will press the CHN and GSBN buttons simultaneously and release. Then crank handle in green indication disappears and crank handle out red indication appears on the panel. The station master presses the economizer push button provided near crank handle EKT and turns the crank handle key and extracts the same. Let us now learn about the operations of siding. When siding point number 15 KL is not locked by any signal route, siding free KLFKW indication will be available on the panel. The station master deputes a points man to siding location box 15 KL. Whenever there is a movement towards siding, the point man opens the siding location and waits for station master's instructions. On observing the siding free indication, the station master presses and releases the siding button 15 KLN and the GSBN button simultaneously. Then a buzzer and indication will be available at 15 KL location box. On hearing the buzzer, the pointsman presses the economizer push button. The buzzer stops and he extracts the key for siding. The pointsman sets the siding point to siding and then movement is allowed for siding. On completion of siding movement, the pointsman sets the siding to normal and extracts the key from ground lever frame. Then he inserts the key in the EKT provided in 15 KL location box and informs the station master. Then station master acknowledges by pressing and releasing 15 KLN and GSRBN buttons simultaneously. Then the siding key in indication 15 KLKG and siding normal indications are lit on the panel. Now let us look at the emergency operations of a signal, which are restoration of signal to on, cancellation of route already said, restoration of signal to on. Whenever it is required to put back a signal to on position during an emergency or due to any other reason, like giving precedence to a train, it can be done by pressing the signal button concerned along with the emergency cancellation button, EGGN. Cancellation of route already set. Ordinarily, a route 1 set need not be cancelled, as the same gets released automatically by the passage of train over the entire route, and this is indicated on the control panel by the extinguishing of the route lights. However, should it become necessary to cancel a route already set due to any reason, either before the passage of the train or due to route not getting automatically released after the passage of the train, the station master on duty shall first restore the signal controlling movement over the route to on. In case the approach track is not occupied by the train, then route will be released immediately without any time delay. In case the approach track is occupied, after restoring the signal to on, the station master presses and releases the signal button concerned other than the last stop signal and the emergency route release button EUUYN simultaneously to release the route. The moment signal is restored to on, the down timer 120 seconds is initiated and it is indicated by down cancellation indication lit on the panel. The route locked indication will remain for stipulated time interval, that is not less than 120 seconds, for the release of the approach locking. The route shall then be released automatically after the down cancellation indication is extinguished after 120 seconds. Each time the route is thus cancelled, it will be recorded on the emergency route release counter provided on the control panel. In the case of advanced starter signals, the route will get cancelled when the signal is restored to on position by means of pressing and releasing the signal button and emergency signal cancellation button, EGGN. Now let us learn about the emergency operation of a point. Emergency point operation is carried out when the point zone track circuit is failed. Before doing this operation, the station master on duty shall personally verify that the track concerned is not occupied by any train or vehicle. Let us now operate the point number 18 from reverse to normal by emergency point operation. The station master inserts the emergency point operation key on the panel and presses emergency point operation button, EWWN, after removing the seal and turning the disc under the button. Then the station master presses the individual point button, WN, releases the EWWN button and presses the common point group button, NWWN, and releases them. An emergency points operation counter increases by one number for each operation, and the same is recorded by the station master in the register concerned. Now let us learn about the emergency cancellation operation for LC gate. The emergency operation of an LC gate can be done in the following two different ways. LC gate opening by emergency LC gate cancellation. LC gate opening by emergency key. LC gate opening by emergency LC gate cancellation. Let us take off home signal S30 to up main line after closing the LC gate. Suppose on a complete arrival of a train, the route is not released. ASR did not pick up as one of the backlog track circuits has failed. The station master on duty presses LXN and GSBN buttons simultaneously and releases GSBN and presses LC gate cancellation button and releases both. After 120 seconds time delay, the slot is extended to the gate latch. Thereby, the gateman extracts the key and opens the gate in route locked condition with a time delay of 120 seconds. LC gate opening by emergency key. When all the methods are failed to transmit slot for gate opening, then the station master breaks open the ceiling and opens the padlock of the box containing emergency key. Then he simply takes out the emergency key from EKT and carries it physically to the site and opens the gate. Once the key is outside, no signal can be taken off unless the key is reinserted. SMR or SMCR is Station Master's control relay. It is normally a picked up relay, and when picked up it authorizes panel operation. When panel is locked, it will drop. TSR is track stick relay. It is normally a picked up relay. It drops when train passes over the TSR controlling track. One signal, one movement. RR is button reverse relay for reception. It is normally a dropped relay. This relay picks up when home signal button and route button concerned are pressed together and released. UCR is route checking relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when a signal route is initiated and all the points required for the signal movement are correctly set and locked. COUCR is calling on signal route checking relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when calling on signal route is initiated and all the points required for the signal movement are correctly set and locked. HR, HHR and DR are signal control relays for yellow, double yellow, green aspects. These are normally dropped relays. They pick up when a signal route is initiated and interlocking permits. UHR or UGR is signal control relays for route. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when the signal is taken off to loop line. HPR, HHPR, DPR are repeater relays of signal control relays. These are used in locations for RE area. These are normally a dropped relay. They pick up at location when the control relay concerned picks up in the relay room. RECR, HECR, DECR and UECR are signal lamp proving relays for red, yellow, green and route respectively. These are normally dropped relays. When picked up, proves signal lamp concerned is burning in the signal aspect. ASR or ALSR is approach lock stick relay. It is normally a picked up relay. When this relay picks up, it denotes that the route is free. When it drops, it denotes that the route is locked. OVSR is overlap stick relay. It is normally a picked up relay. Dropping of home signal ASR drops OVSR and it locks points in overlaps. UVR 1, 2, 3, etc. are sequential route release relays. They are normally dropped relays. When picked up, prove sequential arrival of a train in the set route. TLSR or TRSR are track left stick relays or track right stick relay. These are normally picked up relays. They are used for sectional route release for leftward movement and rightward movement respectively. They drop whenever signal is taken off and ASR is dropped. GNR is signal button relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when signal button is pressed. UNR is route button relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when route button is pressed. WNR is point button relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when point button is pressed. CH1NR and CH2NR and CH3NR are crank handle button relays. These are normally dropped relays. They pick up when crank handle button is pressed. KLNR is siding control button relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when siding control button is pressed. NWWNR is point common button relay, normal. It is normally a dropped relay. Picks up whenever the NWW button is pressed. It is pressed along with point button for normal operation. RWWNR, point common button relay, reverse is normally a dropped relay. It picks up whenever the RWW button is pressed. It is pressed along with point button for reverse operation. GNCR is all signal button normal relay. It is normally a picked up relay. It drops when any signal button is pressed. UNCR is all route button normal relay. It is normally a picked up relay. It drops when any route button is pressed. WNCR is all point button normal relay. It is normally a picked up relay and it drops when any point button or common point group button or emergency point button or LC gate control button or siding control button or crank handle control button is pressed. NNCR is all panel button normal checking relay. It is normally a picked up relay. It drops when any panel button is stuck up and activates a buzzer on the panel. NNACKNR is button stuck up acknowledgement relay. It is normally a dropped relay and stops the buzzer when it picks up. GXJR is signal lamp not failed proving relay. It is normally a picked up relay proving that all signals are burning and drops when any signal goes blank. WXJR is point indication not failed proving relay. It is normally a picked up relay and drops whenever any point indication fails in the yard. GXACKNR is lamp failure acknowledgement button relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up whenever acknowledgement button is pressed and mutes the signal blank buzzer. WXACKNR is point indication failure acknowledgement button relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up whenever acknowledgement button is pressed and mutes the point indication failure buzzer. NWLR or RWLR is point lock relay normal or reverse. It is normally a dropped relay and the point is locked electrically. It picks up whenever the point operation is initiated and drops immediately after the point indication relay is picked up. WJR is point time control relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up whenever NWR or RWR picks up, controls DC 110 volt to point motor for a fixed time. WXR is a special relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up whenever NWR, RWR and WJR picks up. Controls DC 110 volt to point motor. NWR or RWR is normal or reverse point operating relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up at location whenever point operation is initiated. WCR is point contactor relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up whenever WXR, WJR and NWR or RWR picks up. It switches 110 volt DC to point motor. NWKR is normal point indication relay. It is normally a picked up relay when a point is set and locked in normal. RWKR is reverse point indication relay. It is normally a picked up relay when the point set and locked in reverse. NWSR or RWSR are normal and reverse point indication stick relay respectively. It is normally a picked up relay and corresponds to the point position. It picks up through indication relay front contact and sticks through its own front contact and crank handle lock relay front contact. NCR or RCR are point normal and reverse control relay respectively. NCR and RCR picks up when point operation is initiated for normal or reverse and sticks through its own front contact. EGGNR is emergency signal cancellation button relay. It is normally a dropped relay and picks up whenever EGGN button is pressed to put back signal to on. LVR is low voltage relay. It is normally a picked up relay. It drops for low AC 230 voltage. JSLR is timer stick lock relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up whenever cancellation is initiated. When it is picked up, it initiates timers. NJPR is normal timer out proving relay. It is normally a dropped relay, and whenever JSLR picks up, it picks up after 120 seconds. CHLR is crank handle lock relay. It is normally a picked up relay proving that the crank handle is in. It drops whenever the crank handle is extracted. CHNR is crank handle button relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when crank handle button CHN is pressed. LXPR is level crossing proving relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when the LC gate is closed, locked, and station master receives the control back. AS1WR is auto set point relay. 1. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up to initiate point chain operation whenever any point ASWR picks up automatic point operation. AS2WR is auto set point relay 2. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up whenever AS1WR and WWFR are picked up. WWR is auto chain point control relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up whenever AS2WR and WWFR are picked up. All WWRs drop when AS2WR drops. It maintains 3 seconds time gap between points initiation. WWFR is auto point operation final normal relay. It is normally a dropped relay. When it picks up, confirms that the chain operation command is sent to all points. It drops when chain operation is completed. GSBNR is slot transmit relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when GSBN button is pressed. EWWNR is emergency point group button relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when EWWN button is pressed. EWNR-CR is emergency point key in checking relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when key is inserted and EWWN is pressed. CHFR is crank handle free relay. It is normally a picked up relay. When in picked up condition, it proves signals concerned are at on. It drops whenever the signal concerned is initiated NRR up. CHRR is crank handle control reverse relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when CHN, GSBN buttons are pressed for extraction of crank handle. Once picked up, it sticks through its own front contact. CHCR is crank handle in checking relay. It is normally a picked up relay. It picks up when CH key is inserted in EKT and turned. It sticks through its own front contact. NNR is route normal relay. It is normally a picked up relay. It picks up through ASR pickup and NRR drop and sticks through its own front contact. NRR is route reverse relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when GN and UN buttons are pressed and released simultaneously. TR is track relay. It is normally a picked up relay. It picks up when the track is clear and drops whenever track is occupied. TPR is track proving relay. It is normally a picked up relay. It picks up when TR is up and drops when TR is dropped. ASWR is automatic switching of point chain operation. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when NLR or RLR is up and NWLR or RWLR is up for chain operation. GSRBNR is slot receive relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when GSRBN button is pressed. EWNR is emergency point operation final relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when emergency point key is in. The EWWN button and the point button are pressed. NLR is point initiation relay for normal. It picks up as per signal route NRR is picked up. RLR is point initiation relay for reverse. It picks up as per the signal route NRR is picked up. PCR is power control relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when NWLR or RWLR is up. WNKR is point normal indication relay at location. It picks up when normal detection achieved in point machine at site. WRKR is point reverse indication relay at location. It picks up when reverse detection achieved in point machine at site. COCAR is calling on cancellation relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when CO cancel button and home S1 or S30 signal button are simultaneously pressed. It sticks through its own front contact. COAR is calling on arrival relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when calling on track is occupied and main signal S1 or S30 route checking relay is in dropped condition. SR1 or SR2 is stick relay for one line clear one train. It is normally a picked up relay. It is controlled by block instrument. LCPR is line clear proving relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when block instrument turns to line clear position. ZR1, ZR2 or ZR3 is block clearance proving relay. They are normally dropped relays. When these relays pick up, block can be normalized. UECR is root lamp checking relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when minimum 3 root lamps burn. LXRR is LC gate control reverse relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when LXN and GSBN buttons are pressed simultaneously. LXCR is LC gate control relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up at relay room when LXR is energized by gate key in after closing the gate. COGGNR is calling on initiation button relay. It is normally a dropped relay. It picks up when main signal button and COGGN button are pressed simultaneously. For normal aspect, the distance signal D2 is double yellow. The inner distance signal D1 is yellow. The home signal is red. The starter signal is red. The advanced starter signal is red. For loop line reception, the distance signal D2 is double yellow. The inner distance signal D1 is double yellow. The home signal is yellow with root. The starter signal is red. The advanced starter is red. For mainline reception, the distance signal D2 is green. The inner distance signal D1 is double yellow. The home signal is yellow. The starter signal is red. The advanced starter is red. For run through, the distance signal D2 is green. The inner distance signal D1 is green. The home signal is green. The starter signal is green. The advanced starter is green. For pass through loop line, the distance signal D2 is double yellow. The inner distance signal D1 is double yellow. The home signal is yellow with root. The starter signal is yellow. The advanced starter is green. The station master's relay SMCR or SMR is energized when the station master's panel key is in and turned to normal or unlocked position. The energization of SMCR or SMR relay provides authorized operation of all the functions on the panel. The energized contacts of SMCR are used in button circuits except GNR circuits, point operation circuits, route initiation circuits, route cancellation circuits, emergency circuits, crack handle circuits, timer circuits, etc. When station master's key is turned to reverse and taken out from panel by station master, the SMR relay drops. It prevents unauthorized operation and locks the panel in the last operated position except throwing the signal to danger. Let us try to operate point number 11, but the point is not operated. Now let us try to take off a signal, but the signal cannot be taken off. When the panel is in the locked position, no signal can be taken off, but in emergency, any signal already cleared can be put back to on by pressing and releasing signal button concerned and EGGN button.